Hello, welcome back. So, we are now chapter 14 of our course. It's actually the next day for me now. We are going to be talking about the dynamics. Let me move my mic a little bit closer so you can hear me better. But we're going to be talking about the dynamics of our character creation. All right, it's gonna be fun. So, what we're mostly going to be doing for this chapter is we're going to be doing a lot of gesture drawing. To explain what gesture drawing is, oh, actually, before that, I went ahead and changed up our layout again because we are going to be using our subview here, and I've also gone ahead and cleaned up the sketch that we had from the last chapter so that she's a little bit more clean. I've done a few changes, which is just basically remove her glasses because I feel like I'm able to recreate the kind of circles on her face that the glasses give by just giving her droopy eyes. So I also just like sketched out a simple face. So let me save this. Okay. So I went ahead and saved it and I put it up in our subview so that we have a constant reference of this character who we named Clover in the last chapter. I really like that name. I'm a fan of that name. And yeah, we're gonna be doing some gesture drawings. And I already have a canvas open here, so let me just close this one since we already have her here. If you have your concept done for your character as well, feel free to put it up in your reference software if you have one, or just open up a photo of them as well. So, like I said, we're going to be doing gesture drawings here. To explain what gesture drawing is, it's basically it's used for practice mostly. Ideally, you would be having a reference here, like a pose reference for your character. I'm going to be doing it from scratch, from just like memory, but if you need a reference, go ahead and pull up references right now. If you look up figure drawing reference, you should find a lot of references for this figure drawing reference. Before we actually start doing our gesture drawings, I would like to briefly talk about the uses of imagining our character in motion. That's what the dynamic part of the character design process is. Motion is something that is talked about a lot. If you go to any professional institution, motion in a figure is going to come up like sometime. It's going to come up basically. That's because the importance of imagining your character in motion is that you're able to give them life beyond the static illustration that you're going to be making of them. The reason why I like to do gesture drawings for a lot of the OCs, the new OCs that I make, is I just like to imagine them doing things. This also kind of inspires me to think more about this character's personality because depending on their personality, their range of dynamic poses also changes. Say, for example, my character is someone who's overly energetic. When I do gesture drawings for this character, they will be doing a lot of wide arcs. So they're going to be doing a lot of big movements. They're going to be moving their limbs a lot. They're going to be jumping from one place to another. If the character is a little bit more reserved, like Clover here, she would most likely have more tight movements. So her line of action, which is like the line that gesture drawings follow. Her line of action will be more reserved, it will be more closer to herself, it will be, think of it as like a narrower cylinder than a big circle. And this is important because you want your motion to reflect your character's personality. And in imagining the motion, like I said, you get to kind of delve a little bit deeper into the kind of personality that you want your character to have. Right now, in my head, I'm imagining Clover to be more reserved, more into herself. I think we talked about that briefly in the last chapter as well. Um, To kind of reflect that, I've written down 5 things that I will be making gesture drawings of here. Now, I will say, typically when you do gesture drawings, you will be doing an entire sheet full of them. But for the sake of of demonstration for this chapter, your exercise this time around is just going to be making 1 or 2 or 3 or even 5 drawings. That's what I'm going to be doing here. I would like you to make gesture drawings of your character's perceived movement. So you can do something like what I'm doing, which is like listing down the things that I think Clover would be doing on a daily basis. And then you can go ahead and do that. If not, go find references and find ones that you think will suit your character. And then you can do that. So we're going to start now. So what I have here are 5 things, like I said, that Clover would most likely do on a daily basis. This is also a nice little kind of exploration of what her character would be like. If you don't have an idea of what your character would do yet, based on their setting and their personality, go have a conversation with them. Go ask them what you think they would be doing on a daily basis. I'm serious, by the way. Go have a conversation with your character. You have to be at least a little bit delusional to be a character designer, I'm telling you. So, yeah. My first gesture drawing for her will just be standing. I'm going to choose. By the way, throughout this course, I have been watching the videos that I've been recording for this course, and I realized I say and a lot. I'm really sorry if that bothers you. I'll try not to keep doing it. But yeah. First up, we're going to be doing standing or her idle pose. Think of it as like a video game character pose. So when you draw gesture drawings, you don't have to worry too much about form. Let me extend our canvas. I just said it again. I said again. I'm so sorry. I'm trying really hard not to say it. I know some people get bothered by it, so I hope you're not. So when you do gesture drawings, you don't have to worry too much about anatomy and proportion. Just worry about I'm doing it again. Just worry about your movement and the dynamics. So you can even just do stick figures for this. Like sometimes when I do my gesture drawings, I'm just kind of like, this is the character. But we're going to be doing her standing, her idle animation, her idle pose. I like to think that when she's idle, Clover would probably be holding onto the straps of her backpack. So I'm kind of imagining her like her line of action would be like this. Yeah, this is gonna be her line of action. To explain what a line of action is, it's just the general movement that your figure is going to follow. So this is her torso. This is her hips. Her legs would be like that. I'm gonna make her head a little bit smaller. One thing as well that I like to do with my gesture drawings is I like to kind of draw where the hair goes, because if your character is more dynamic, if your character has more dynamic movement than Clover over here, their hair would be all over the place. So that's one good thing to sort of keep in mind, is if you can, draw the parts of their outfit that you think will have physics, and you can make those physics react to their movement. So like this. Her hands would be like that. Like that. I think for the next ones, I might not draw her pants actually, because well, I'm just gonna edit that right now. I kind of want to focus on her body instead of her clothes. And there's not much physics in her clothes anyways. There should be like some near the arms and the legs because her sleeves are baggy, but I don't want to focus on that for now. So she would most likely be doing something like this. Probably looking away. I feel like she would look away from the camera. Like this. And then her big tank. So this is what she would be looking like when she's just standing around. Honestly, I feel like her legs wouldn't even do this. Let me edit that. Yes, I'm giving her the anime girl stance. Because I just feel like someone who's this reserved most likely wouldn't be spreading her legs like that. So something more like this. Yeah, like that. And then for her walking or her running. I haven't actually imagined what her walking cycle would look like. But oh yes, you can also choose between walking or running depending on what you think your character will most likely be doing. I'm going for a walking thing here because I don't think she'd be the type to run. Well, she would be, but I feel like most of the time if she's just in her, let's say she has a little farm, a little garden, she would most likely want to be a bit more careful around her plants, so probably won't be doing too much running. Side tip, by the way, if you're doing side angles and you have a like so I don't know why I said side tip. I was supposed to say side angle tip. If you're doing side angles and you have a hard time placing the shoulders, draw the back first. Draw this part of the back first. It's just easier. And then you can just draw a circle here. And that's where the shoulder's gonna go. So let's say this is her torso. This is her line of action is very straight. It's very restrained. This is a very restrained character. Yeah. Then her arms, her hands will again be over here. So this is Clover when she's walking. Again, draw her tank. That's her when she's walking. And then her next one is watering her plants.